Pojďme se podívat na něco, co je podle mého názoru ta nejhorší věc, které se můžete na YouTube dopustit. A to je pokusit se cancelnout nebo jakkoliv zhodit MrBeasta.
Fake giveaways, exploiting poverty and crypto.
A pravděpodobně o spoustu těchto případů si myslím, že budu vědět, protože si pamatuju o tom, že se tohle téma docela dost dořešilo.
MrBeast has been exposed by numerous YouTubers throughout the years. But how many of these 5 YouTubers were actually speaking the truth? And did MrBeast really get away with all of the bad things he supposedly did? Well, we're going to find that out by starting with the YouTuber Iox, who exposed MrBeast for faking his giveaways all the way back in May of 2017. Back then, Jimmy was still known for his worst intro series and outrageous videos like grilling a microwave, microwaving a microwave, microwaving a toaster.
Tady tohleto MrBeast video si pamatuju. Prostě ogriloval jsem mikrovlnku v mikrovlnce, mikrovlnku v mikrovlnce, mikrovlnku v mikrovlnce. Nejlepší video.
Toasting an iPhone, watching microwaving a microwave, microwaving a toaster, which were definitely iconic. But the YouTuber that exposed him had a different opinion about him, as he simply labeled him as a clickbaiter and paired him together with other deceiving content creators like Durf, the Pro Gamer J, and Exility. Now this could already be seen as valid criticism, despite being somewhat hateful. But his real problem with MrBeast was about to come up a little bit later, as he accused him of faking gift card giveaways. You see, during this time it was a huge trend amongst YouTubers with a missing moral compass to host fake gift card giveaways, sometimes even in the form.
Či pamatuje se někdo tady tohohle týpka? Já si pamatuju z toho, že on dřív dělal jednak ty fake giveawaye, ale on to dělal fakt jako ve velkým. Že týpek prostě vždycky udělal něco ve stylu, když tady dáme tolik a tolik lajků odběratelů, blablabla, tak vyberu několik z vás, co vyhrajou tohle a tohle. Vyberu jedny z mých odběratelů. Vždycky přišel ten milník, nikdo nevyhrál. A znovu, když dáme tady tohle a tohle, jako by ty lidi zapomněli na to předešlou giveaway, tak jeden z vás vyhraje tohle, zase nikdo nic klasicky nevyhrál.
Form of live streams. And Iox allegedly busted Jimmy on participating in those same activities. Together with his friend Liam, he found a YouTube channel named Clash Up that started doing one of these giveaway live streams, and noticed that the host of the live stream had no interaction with the chat at all, which was due to it being pre-recorded. The owner of this channel simply went out, bought a gift card, recorded opening them, and then used them for himself, later using the video footage for the live stream.
Co? Takže on to ani nikomu nedal, on prostě se aktivoval ty gift cards, hodil to na třeba hodinový loop a teďka, a jako, je to scam, ale je to teda pěkně vychcanej scam. Tento kód nezdílejte s nikým, koho neznáte. Surely.
However, what Iox also noticed was that the person hosting the livestream had the same distinctive voice as MrBeast, and that they even had the same table as Jimmy to open the gift card song, which could also be found in one of MrBeast's thumbnails. He didn't include a clip of this livestream for reference to hear Jimmy's voice, but he later explained that there was more evidence as an exact replica of this
to je dobrý, no, když řekne, že zní podobně jak MrBeast a pak ani nepřehraješ video toho, jak
live stream also got hosted on MrBeast's second channel a day before. You would normally think that Clash Up just stole this footage from MrBeast and ran it on their own channel, but this also got disproven, as there was a referral link in the description of MrBeast's livestream, and this link was identical to the one in Clash Up's description, making the claim of Clash Up using Jimmy's footage unlikely. I mean, if you wanted to rip someone's stream footage and use it as your own, you would probably use your own referral code for financial gain, and not fill the pockets of MrBeast. Now of course, all of this was never any hard evidence, and Clash Up could have just used MrBeast's referral code to mess with him, but Jimmy never ended up responding to the allegations, with the livestream eventually disappearing.
Tam hlavně jako, co by z tohohle MrBeast získal. Leda by to byl nějaký sociální experiment, na základě čeho by stejně z toho vyšlo video, tak jako z toho nemá moc, co by získal.
And him only making an unrelated general statement in one of his videos that he would never fake giveaways. Yet, Iox wasn't the only YouTuber that accused MrBeast of lying to his fans. No, there was another creator with over 14 million subscribers that exposed him for faking one of his videos and tried to cancel him for it. And this YouTuber was Rosanna Pansino. Now this story began on the 18th of December in
Jo, a tak to je odkud jí znám, ok, už
2021.
Už vím. Jo, on to bude vysvětlovat, ale to je prostě týpka, která vyhrála, myslím, druhý místo v MrBeast Challenge a pak měla strašný rant na Twitteru, o tom, že měla vyhrát první místo a proč ve skutečnosti to celé video bylo rigged.
The video titled Extreme $1 Million Hide and Seek, which was the third installment of his popular YouTube original series called The Creator Games. However, what Jimmy didn't know was that this series would be one of the main contributors to some of his controversies. You see, in Creator Games 2, where YouTubers played games of trivia for $300,000 to give away to their subscribers, Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio were already called out for cheating. They were competing with their entire family versus singular contestants, an advantage that many fans found unacceptable, and it resulted in MrBeast even having to address the situation by saying that the tournament was just for fun and that everyone had to blame him for the decision. And well, a few years later, the same situation occurred again, as he got blamed for yet another questionable decision. In Creator Games 3, various YouTubers competed in a hide and seek for the chance of donating $1 million to a charity of their choice. And among many of those competing, there was a creator, actress and singer with over 14 million subscribers that managed to make it all the way to the top 4. The name of this contestant? Rosanna Pansino, a creator that got most of her success on the
To ani nevím, že dělala. Jo, ona vlastně dělala tady tyhle ty videa s dortíkama.
Platform by making creative baking videos. But this time, she wasn't interested.
Což teda jako nesměju se tomu kontentu, jenom mi přijde zajímavý kontrast, že prostě ten stejný týpek, co prostě dělá ta stejná týpka, která dělá dorty, tak potom se snaží cancelnout MrBeast kvůli tomu, že prohrála challenge. Takový vtipný kontrast.
Disney cakes. No, she wanted that grand prize. After over 24 hours of hiding and a few close calls, she eventually got caught by Jimmy while changing hiding spots.
Who's that? Oh no! Bros, you're not fooling anyone with those fake pants.
And while this wasn't the $1 million she was hoping for, Rosanna wasn't upset about her placement at all, as she placed third after another contestant called
OK, tak byla třetí,
got disqualified.
Tak to je možná ještě horší, tak ona, jo, tak už si to pamatuju líp, ona se na Twitteru měla meltdown o tom, že byla třetí, ale přitom měla být druhá, prostě úplně zbytečný, prostě... To místo i tak jako nic nevyhrálo, mám pocit, a ona prostě byla meltdown, že byla třetí a druhá.
The competition ultimately ended with Zach King finishing in first place, Quackity in second, and Rosanna in third. And while it didn't seem like anything particularly strange happened on that day, Rosanna then noticed something interesting when the video eventually got released. Because in the final video, when it got to the point where MrBeast revealed the podium placements, he showed Zach King in first, the disqualified Lorray in third, and Logan Paul in second, a contestant that got out way before her. And despite Rosanna not saying anything about this occurrence for over 2 years, she then all of a sudden broke her silence in October of 2020.
OK, tak možná ani to, že to byla třetí.
When she decided to expose MrBeast for this deceitful editing trick on a podcast with Trisha Paytas.
I'm just confused what happened there. Again, I didn't get involved in any of the drama.
A proč bys tohle vytahoval 2 roky později? Proč bys to nevyřešil rovnou s MrBeastem? Já myslím, že MrBeast to s ní potom nějak řešit chtěl, ale už si nepamatuju, jak to dopadlo, ta jejich konverzace.
I was nice to everyone and they edited me out like midway through the video.
She explained that she was heartbroken when the video got released, as it made her feel like she wasn't good enough.
I understand, you know, like Logan has such a huge following and he's...
To není nic osobního, no, buď to si v tom videu byla nudná, nebo se to zrovna nehodilo do toho editu.
It's literally a professional wrestler and that, like, I get it, but it just made me feel like that you're not enough.
And she even exposed Zach King for breaking certain contract terms of the competition where you couldn't hide in unsafe places, as he broke the rules by hiding in the ceiling, meaning that he technically cheated with his final hiding spot that won him the hide and seek. She waited an entire 2 years to say this as she was afraid of being labeled difficult to work with, and didn't want to turn the massive audience of MrBeast against her.
Jo, tak proto to neřeší nějakým racionálním způsobem, že by to probrala přímo s MrBeastem ještě na tom setu, nebo alespoň v DMs, když to video vyšlo. A prostě z ničeho nic to dropne v nějakým podcastu, kde to vůbec nemá jakýkoliv smysl.
And while these were very valid points to not reveal something you feel bad about, she then suddenly started intensifying her stance against Jimmy.
Why? Yep. It just feels icky and it kind of felt like a boys club. Very much. And I mean, it is. That's what it was. I haven't been around another creator that made me feel like it was a boys club and then I wasn't welcome. Like that's the most
shocking and be the most hurtful thing. Because you think he's...
Ne, všichni ostatní youtubeři byli muži.
Not like that.
And it didn't end there, because Rosanna also decided to put out a tweet
A vždyť doslova na začátku byli Charlie D'Amelio, kteří tam soutěžili taky, akorát se nedostali do toho finále, ty vole, WTF.
in which she told the entire story again.
Takže ona byla jediná žena, co postoupila, to není problém MrBeasta.
And this time put extra emphasis on the fact that MrBeast edited out the only female in the top 3. She got a lot of support on this message from other women, and even
Možná nebyla vlastně jediná žena, co vůbec se dostala do finále, už se nepamatuju, jak to bylo.
revealed that she received at least 3 other messages from other female creators who've had similar experiences with MrBeast and those around him, suddenly making this appear as an attack on Jimmy. YouTubers like Kteří responded to this situation by saying that Logan Paul probably got added to the final 3 for retention, that only the winner got the ability to donate $1 million to a charity of their choice, so that all of this didn't really matter, and that gender probably had nothing to do with it. But this didn't stop Rosanna and her campaign, as the situation then completely spiraled out of control. She went on the
No já si myslím, že ona viděla, že z toho má docela dost jako nějakou špetku pozornosti. Myslela si, že jí to nějak jako třeba kariérně pomůže, ale bohužel to prostě udělala úplnej pravý opak a mohla si v klidu dělat dortičky a tyhle ty věci, kdy by nemusela nic řešit a nevím, prostě nechápu, proč bys jako dobrovolně podstupoval takovouhle PR sebevraždu, že prostě vyhlásíš MrBeasta ještě ke všemu za něco, co je prostě úplně nepodstatný a zahrneš tomu body, který ještě k tomu nejsou pravdivý.
H3 podcast to continue spreading her message.
I felt like he had females there for optics. I felt like he had females there also because it was a YouTube production and, you know, they wanted to have guys and girls be represented, but just because you're there doesn't mean you're welcome.
And while Jimmy
Co to meleš? Co to jebuje?
tried to DM her on Twitter for an opportunity to call and figure everything out, she refused. As Rosanna mentioned
Jo, prostě MrBeast fakt, ale nechci si zavolat, probereme to. Ona, ne. Okay.
that she didn't want to create drama, felt hurt, that it's not mentally
Nechtěla jsem dělat drama, ale i přesto šla asi do 40 podcastů, aby udělala drama.
healthy for her to have someone make her look worse than she actually was to millions of people, and that she first wanted MrBeast to remember what he actually did. Jimmy denied that he was trying to make anyone look bad, and just wanted to talk things out. But Rosanna's answer was simple.
Whatever he can say to me on the phone, he can say to me in writing.
As a
No dobře, ale proč by měl ztrácet svůj čas tím, že ti bude vypisovat slovky, když si s tebou může na pár minut zavolat?
the conflict didn't get resolved, and after she then updated her Twitter bio to top 3 hide and seek world champion, trained for years with my little nephews, blowing the situation up more and more, the community eventually turned against her. Many were quite understanding at first, but now that the drama had been blown completely out of proportion, this rapidly changed. At 36 years of age, Rosanna Pansino had mental anguish because people didn't know she got third in MrBeast hide and seek. Did she grow up rich or something? How does this cause you mental anguish for 2 years straight? However, her stance on this whole ordeal wasn't the only factor contributing to this increase in hate, as she also released a new music video 1 day after the drama, which made critics think that this whole situation was escalated intentionally to drive more attention to her song. Thanks to this criticism and thousands of death threats, she eventually deleted all of her tweets and apologized to Jimmy, but later redacted this apology again due to new information.
To je neuvěřitelný. Představ si, že ty se omluvíš a pak řekneš, beru omluvu zpátky. Prostě, ty vole, jak moc nerozhodnej člověk musíš být, který není schopnej si ani pár dní stát za svým slovem. To je neuvěřitelný. Na základě nových informací. Jakých nových informací? To se stalo 2 roky zpátky.
And developments behind the scenes, which he ultimately deleted again and never elaborated on. Could this have been the work of the NDA she signed? We will never know for sure. But both Jimmy and Rosanna have moved on from this drama nowadays, with both YouTubers focusing on their own channels again. Then again, these accusations against MrBeast were nothing compared to the many exposing videos that the following YouTuber made. As the self-proclaimed OG MrBeast hater and president of the I Hate MrBeast Club, YouTuber The Cavernical has tried to cancel MrBeast for over 4 years now. But why? Well, his video titled MrBeast is unironically evil explained it best, as he made a giant list of all the things Jimmy should be criticized for. To start off, he addressed the video where MrBeast spent $1 million with the winner of the last to take hand of $1 million.
Ale takhle, abych byl fair, jo, MrBeast není perfektní člověk a určitě, když jako něco fakt potřebuje, tak já souhlasím s tím, že by za to měl dostat nějakou oprávněnou kritiku a že by se s ním měl zacházet jako s každým jiným tvůrcem, ale většina těch věcí, za kterého lidi se snaží cancelnout, tak jsou prostě totální nesmysly. A už jenom to, že si zakládáš kariéru na tom, že se snažíš cancelnout MrBeasta, tak trošičku odhaluje něco o tom tvým úmyslu, že tobě nejde o to, abys jako našel něco špatného, co MrBeast dělá, aby to případně někomu pomohlo, ale kvůli tomu, že chceš vyčnívat z toho davu lidí, co mají MrBeasta rádi, tak prostě ho začneš nenávidět, abys byl něčím výjimečný.
Dollar keeps a challenge and mentioned that it wasn't necessary to show off the poverty that the contestant was living in.
No jasně, není nutný ukazovat, v jakých životním stavu nebo na jaké úrovni ten člověk žije, ale jako to těm lidem jako nechceš ukázat nic, řekneš jim ahoj, tady tohle je, vole, Steve, teďka vyhrál ode mě peníze a to je všechno. Jo, jako proč bys to neukazoval, když těm lidem ukážeš realitu, v čem ten člověk žije, a je úplně jedno, jestli by byl bohatý nebo prostě chudej. Když jim ukážeš tu realitu, tak ty lidi k tomu účastníkovi mají hnedka nějaký trošičku bližší vztah a dokážou o to víc sympatizovat k tomu, jestli řeknou, jo, tady ten týpek, to jsem jako rád, že to vyhrál, a pak jak ukážeš tomu videu, to přidá nějakou hodnotu navíc.
There are a lot of people who will watch MrBeast's video with this guy and they will live in similar, if not worse, circumstances than Mark, and here's MrBeast basically going around his house talking about how terrible his life is and how happy this guy won $1 million because he's exploiting these aesthetics of poverty to make him look better.
And then he
Neviděl jsem, nebo nepamatuju si, respektive z toho videa, jak to tam MrBeast popisoval, ale doopravdy bych si troufal říct, že to nevypadalo tak, že by tam MrBeast chodil a říkal, wow, podívej se, jak strašný tady tohle je. Možná mohl říct něco typu, ty jo, tohle je malá postel, nebo něco takového, ale prostě, řekl bych, že tohle je prostě dělání z komára velblouda, klasicky.
Guess the video that was even worse. As I survived 50 hours in a maximum security prison was apparently extremely gross and racially insensitive. In his opinion, he shouldn't have treated a maximum security prison like a fun playground.
He's doing this when millions of Americans are in this system right now.
No dobře, tak budeme jako brát teďka vážně všechno, to jako ve filmech teďka se nebudou moc točit autonehody, protože lidi, kteří se prošli autonehodou, tak to pro ně může být dramatický vidět ve filmu a kvůli tomu to jako nebudeme vůbec nikam dávat. Ve filmech se nebudou točit jakýkoliv násilný scény, protože lidi, co se prožili násilí, tak by to pro ně mohlo být citlivý, aby když to sledujou, jo, kvůli tomu jako nedělejme v životě nic. Že ono, chápeš, někoho to může urazit. To je prostě problém.
And of course you have to be so racially insensitive to not understand the implications of what you're doing and how you're making light of a situation, because America historically, and it got ramped up under Joe Biden and Bill Clinton with the crime bill, has imprisoned disproportionately people of color for non-violent.
Dobrý, ale proč tady tyhle ty věci taháš k MrBeastovi? On prostě udělal video, kde přežil ve vězení. Nebo minimálně v něčem, co vypadalo jako vězení. To nemělo být jako nějaká věruhodná 1:1 kopie i s tím, jak tam ty lidi žijou. Protože to ani zreplikovat nejde, ale abys byl reálně odsouzený a v tom vězení musel být několik let.
Offenses, sometimes for the rest of their lives, right? Who will have to live in conditions like this for the rest of their lives.
And criticized Jimmy for not raising awareness about the problems within the prison industry at all. He followed this up by recognizing that MrBeast does actually help people, but continued finding fault with some of the charity work MrBeast does on his philanthropy channel, calling it exploitative and mentioning that people in those videos mainly get on camera to get humiliated for their circumstances thanks.
To je prostě... jo, MrBeast jim radši nic neměl dávat, měl se nějakou charitu vystat, protože teďka podle týpečka, když tam ty lidi jsou, tak MrBeast je vlastně milkuje, aby z nich udělal chudáky. Jo? Ty lidi určitě strašně nastalo, že jim MrBeast dal peníze, notebooky, všechny tyhle věci. Ty lidi to extrémně, určitě jim to hrozně vadilo. Já si myslím, že kvůli tomu, aby řekli svůj příběh na kameru, tak se přesto nemohli přenést. Prostě, bože, to jsou tak strašně stupidní argumenty. Já ti garantuju, že kdyby se z kohokoliv z nějaké MrBeast giveaway zeptal, jestli byl rád za to, že v tom videu byl a jestli všeobecně je spokojený s tou zkušeností, co kolem MrBeasta měl, tak ti všichni ty lidi řeknou, že jo. Že jsou rádi za to, že se jim to stalo.
To a power imbalance.
And again, he just comes across as an absolutely massive narcissist who is really out of touch with reality. And
co to meleš? Takže v moment, co někdo ve videu řekne, tohle je chudoba existuje, tak je to jako narcis, protože jako neví, o čem mluví? Co? Jako má MrBeast přestírat, že svět je růžový a že všichni žijou v perfektních podmínkách, jako když někdo žije v nějaké horší životní situaci, tak na to nemůže poukázat? Hlavně na to kolikrát poukazuje, aby lidi pochopili, proč jako těm lidem hlavně pomáhá a ukazuje tam nějaký před, jak ty lidi žili předtím a jak ty lidi můžou žít potom, co tam ta pomoc dorazila a většinou to má ještě nějakou message k tomu, kdy MrBeast lidem ukazuje, jak případně můžou pomoct dalším lidem v podobných životních situacích. Tam zatím není jediný špatný úmysl, to je všechno pro kontext toho videa, aby to lidi chápali. Není jako jediný špatný záměr zatím.
White men become very successful YouTubers.
But that wasn't all, because after laughing at the fact that MrBeast wants to be
nejlepší, že tohle většinou říkají lidi, co nepřispěli ani korunu na charitu za celý svůj život. Neříkám, že to je případ tohle týpka, jenom říkám, že to je poměrně častý. To máš to stejný, když třeba nějaký milionář pošle 100 000 na charitu, tak lidi, a proč neposlal víc, však je milionář, a to ti řeknou lidi, co v životě neposlali ani korunu na charitu.
Become president with no political agenda, he eventually exposes Jimmy for being involved in a crypto pump and dump scheme. In a video from another YouTuber called Villian, which was titled Gary V's NFT market manipulation scheme, the YouTuber claimed that MrBeast and Logan Paul actually admitted to market manipulation on the Impulsive podcast. In this episode, Jimmy explained that he and Logan bought a ton of CryptoPunks, which are NFTs that sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars, after getting told to do so by Gary V on a call with many other.
S tímhle souhlasím, že tohle celý s NFTčkama a to, jak MrBeast bylo Logana, mluvili tam o tom, bylo trochu sus, nicméně si nemyslím, že do toho šel s nějakým špatným úmyslem, že prostě se řekl, že hele, nějaký známý investor mě tady zve na call, vezmu si nějakého doporučení a na tom callu prostě bylo hold x desítek dalších youtuberů, no. To, jestli to je nějaký market manipulation, nedokážu říct, nejsem na tohle téma fakt expert, takže nevím, do jaké míry bys tohle mohl označit, ale zase neřekl bych, že zatím byl nějaký špatný záměr, že byl akorát transparentní ohledně nějaké své investice.
Billionaires.
CryptoPunks, it's gonna be huge, it's gonna be the next Facebook, where all of us were like, okay,
Everyone's
Gary.
judging. I'm texting Logan and I'm like,
is
Gary lost
this
his
legit?
mind.
Bro, all of us were like, yo, Gary's nuts. Yo, Gary was right again.
Are you guys hearing the words like coming out of this man's mouth? They're laughing about market manipulation. This is a crime if this was stocks.
And while the YouTubers seemed oblivious to the fact that they just exposed this, even co-host Mike Malek questioned it.
When Gary does that call with all these billionaires and 8 months or a year later, everybody's like, Gary was right again.
Yeah.
Is it possible that he's right because of the call?
However, Logan quickly denied this by saying that there were 10,000 CryptoPunks anyways, and that they only owned a small part with an entire market still being around it. Villian didn't agree with this argument.
I mean, that logic is just completely skewed because you quite literally are setting the new standard for what these things are worth.
And the Governacle ultimately used this situation to question why MrBeast is involved in pump and dump schemes when he states that he only wants money for charity. He finished this exposing video by saying that Jimmy took COVID loans he didn't need, speculated a bit about his taxes, and concluded it all by...
Ale tady u těch NFTček souhlasím, že MrBeast nemusel o tom nějak otevřeně mluvit, protože je jasný, hodně lidem to může vnuknout nápad, aby si to koupili, což není tvoje chyba, on to jako nepromoval, jenom o tom mluvil, ale i tak s tím, že MrBeast o sobě ví, že má vliv takový, jaký má, tak tomhle by bylo lepší možná nemluvit, ale zase jako neřekl bych, že to je nic tragického, že o tom mluvil. To, že to koupili v nějaké větší skupině, jak říkám, nerozumím tomu, jak moc to mohla být nějaká manipulace s tím trhem, ale řekl bych, že tady obě strany mají v něčem
by saying that it's okay to be skeptical of YouTubers like this. But was there even any truth to these claims? Well, according to the comments, there was. Many could find themselves in the criticism that the Governacle presented, as some MrBeast fans even changed their mind on him, and the market manipulation claims got even more support, with many being disappointed in MrBeast and CoffeeZilla even supporting the original video from Villian. Jimmy never ended up responding to these accusations, and to this day, the Governacle is still coming for him, as he recently uploaded another video in which he addressed the toxic MrBeast work culture and its lack of safety. However, this YouTuber wasn't the only...
Ohledně lidí, co pracují pro MrBeasta, tak myslím, že byl jenom jeden případ, kdy nějaký editor odcházel a stěžoval si na to, že to bylo strašný, ale přitom za to dostal strašnou bídu, protože myslím, že důsledek toho byl, že si to tahal z paty, jelikož on odešel. Mezitím, než se najde novou práci, tak MrBeast mu dal bonus nějakých $10,000 nebo něco takového, jako prostě peníze na odchod, odstupný nějaký. A já už si nepamatuju, jak ten celý případ byl, ale prostě říkal tam věci, co nedávaly moc smysl a do té doby jsem neslyšel žádný případy od kohokoliv jiného, co by pro MrBeasta pracoval a sdělil nějakou příšernou zkušenost.
The creator that called out Jimmy for his toxic work environment. As a former editor of the channel, Matt Turner also described his work with Mr.
Tak to je možná on, to je možná ten týpek, o kterém mluvím.
Beast as the most mentally draining time of his life. Now, Matt Turner originally started out as an editor for MrBeast in 2018, but then already left the channel a few months later. Why? Well, a video uploaded to his personal channel would reveal it all. In this video, he stated that working for MrBeast was his dream job, that going to work every day was a blast, that Jimmy paid for his rent every single month, that nobody did anything wrong, and that he still considered them as friends. However, this friendship eventually turned out to be nothing more than a lie, as only a year later, Matt tried to expose MrBeast on Twitter. He claimed that he was yelled at, bullied, and called replaceable every single day. And after having mental breakdowns often, being made to feel like an idiot after every editing mistake, and getting no credit for his work, he ultimately decided to leave. Funnily enough, almost nobody believed his accusations, as many defended MrBeast and actually came forward about their positive experiences with the YouTuber. And that wasn't all, because
Jo, že tam prostě víc lidí má tu pozitivní zkušenost oproti těm, co by měli nějakou negativní.
MrBeast even responded to the situation by revealing to Keemstar on a phone call that he paid Matt $10,000 as severance and even got him a job at SOAR at the time. As a result, Matt deleted all of his tweets and claimed that he got hacked, after which he
Tak to je kep jak svině. Lol, prostě. Ježíš, sorry, napsal jsem se. Hackli mi Twitter, nejde nic, GG boys.
Ultimately made one final response on a second account saying, I'm literally an innocent dude trying to live life and wanted to have an open conversation about an
tak najednou ten účet nehackli.
experience I had about my old job. I don't deserve so much effing hate.
Jako sorry, v momentu si takhle jako podkopeš sám sebe, tak ti lidé mají věřit cokoliv jiného.
Man, the drama eventually faded, but a whole 6 months later, Matt still couldn't let it go.
Granted, something similar happened with one girl saying the Hype House treated her unfairly, and that went super well for her. Maybe if I was a super attractive girl, the outcome would have been different. Honestly,
Víš, jak je tam rozdíl, že o Hype Houseu všichni věděli, že to byla mrka, která prostě neměla jakoukoliv šanci, že to vydrží. To není to stejný jako MrBeast tým. Možná ty věci, co ta holka říkala, tak jí to lidi věřili ne kvůli tomu, že je hezká, ale kvůli tomu, že dávali smysl. Neviděl jsem to vyjádření, nevím, jenom spekulace, proč tomu tak mohlo být.
And after continuing his attempts to try and cancel Jim,
já nevím, prostě mně přijde hrozně jako nelogický, že uděláš tady tyhle ty věci, kde se stavíš do strašně jako takového povýšeného pohledu, že možná, kdybych byl atraktivní holka, tak by mi to lidi věřili, ale co se dá dělat? Prostě, proč si myslíš, že s takovýmhle pohledem na tu věc, s takovýmhle vyjádřením s tebou někdo bude sympatizovat? To je přístup, který úplně každýho
Jimmy for a while.
Because when Jake the Viking left MrBeast to do his own thing and pursue his own channel, guess who decided to try and make it dramatic? If you guessed Matt, you'd be right. All the video is him cherry picking all of the bad things that Jake talked about during his video to try and make MrBeast look evil.
He eventually gave up and decided to finally make a pretty poor apology to him.
I just wanted to say, hey, I worked for this guy and it wasn't great, but that's it. And it became video series and
no, jak se říká, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Nekousej ruku, která tě živí. Překládá se to takhle?
Drama Alert and John Scarce and all of these drama channels picking up this story that never was my intention. If anyone was offended by me saying that wasn't the best experience, well then I do apologize.
Matt ultimately moved on and surprisingly featured on a season of Big Brother as a result, which was huge for the growth of his personal brand. But even this new adventure couldn't be without any drama, as a person claiming to be his sister then exposed him on Twitter for saying the N-word often, being a bully, manipulating their mother to kick her out of the house, and giving her anxiety and panic attacks. Yikes. Nowadays, he's an artist with over 200,000 followers on Instagram, and he continues his journey in content creation with a series on Instagram and TikTok where he and his girlfriend built their dream apartment. And finally, we have someone who made cancelling creators and celebrities her life's purpose. A YouTuber with over 200,000 subscribers that has called out Darman, Cocomelon, and even Gordon.
Cocomelon! Prostě představ si, že nějaký den vstaneš a řekneš si, exposenu YouTube kanál, který má takovouhle YouTube profilovku.
Ramsey. Of course, I'm talking about that vegan teacher. Yes, Miss Katie, also known as that vegan teacher, is an animal rights activist, internet personality and former educator, mainly known for promoting veganism. She does this by controversially calling out massive YouTubers and internet personalities, framing them in a way that makes them seem anti-vegan, and then reaping the rewards from this with many.
Tahle týpka je přesně ten důvod, proč lidi, bych řekl, že mají většinou ten stereotyp, že nemají rádi vegany. Přesně tady tato týpka je chodící důkaz toho, proč někteří lidi k tomu mají tak strašně stereotypní názor. Že vegani jako takový, jako nedělají nic špatně, na tom je jako reálně, je to nějaký tvoje osobní rozhodnutí, enjoy, to je úplně v klidu. Nejhorší jsou ale lidi, kteří se ti snaží vnutit do hlavy to, že pokud nebudeš vegan, tak seš prostě monstrum. Tak umírají kvůli tobě nevinný zvířátka. Měl bys být vegan, protože tohle. Jo, prostě tyhle držubu, ať se každý rozhodne za sebe, ať se každá to udělá svůj nějaký vlastní názor. Jo, tahle týpka je reálně prostě důvod, proč lidi to tak moc odsuzujou.
The commentary and documentary YouTubers covering these outrageous videos, including me right now. In fact, she did this for Gordon Ramsay, Coco Melon, Mark Rober,
ten Gordon Ramsay, že můžu si svůj stage.
Nikocado Avocado, and eventually Mr. Beast as well. It all began in 2021 when she uploaded an exposing video titled Mr. Beast, no amount you give to charity can undo the damage you are causing by promoting eating meat, in which she criticized this video where he ate a 70.
Jako hele, vtipný na téhle kontroverzi je, že tuhle týpku nikdo nebral vážně. Všechny ty ostatní kontroverze byly takový, že se jako snažili něco na MrBeasta vytáhnout a alespoň z nějaké části si to říkal, OK, to stojí za zamyšlenou, nebo prostě stojí to k zamyšlení. Tady tohle nikdo nebral vážně, to prostě všichni vnímali, jakože to je absolutní meme.
$70,000 pizza. You see, Katie believed that these $70,000 could be used to save a lot of starving children, which was a fair point. But considering the fact that MrBeast already did a lot of charitable work on his philanthropy channel at that point, including him literally feeding struggling families, it wasn't fair of her to completely disregard this. The comments agreed here, with many calling her out on this fact. But this was just the beginning of her mission to cancel MrBeast and turn him into a vegan. In that same video, she stated that MrBeast promotes violence.
MrBeast, unfortunately, I have given you so many X's here for promoting the violence, for not talking about the environment, for not promoting healthy eating, no vegetables, no fruits, every single thing you mentioned comes from suffering.
In another video, she demanded Jimmy to mention if something is vegan or not, then faulted him for not using enough vegetables in his food videos, and ultimately labeled him as someone who thinks kidnapping is okay because he used cheese. Now, you're probably wondering how she made that.
Prostě si vyvodila. No hele, on má na své pice rád sýr, tak ten podporuje únosy lidí.
Connection. Well, here's the math. Cheese comes from milk, milk is stolen from mothers, and those mothers had their baby stolen, meaning that MrBeast basically supports kidnapping. Jimmy obviously never responded.
Tak to už to chápu.
But his fans definitely did, which caused her to host a whole 30-minute livestream responding to them.
I'm vegan, I was born vegan, you were too. Go back to your roots.
Ví, jak jako go back to your roots, kdy doslova lidi od jak živa žerou maso, jako go back to your roots. Kdybych chtěl jít hodně zpátky, tak bych si to maso ani neohříval na ohni.
Considering the influx in views she experienced from this whole campaign, the MrBeast videos kept being made. She made a rap about him.
Why is MrBeast an animal bully when instead of eating meat he can just
Ona prostě udělala freestyle.
protein-packed veggies?
Did another 20-minute livestream responding to his fans, claimed that his gaming channel pays for murder, kidnapping and torture, and even came after his Feastables chocolate.
What? What?
Ček to bude tí baso.
Milk chocolate. Milk
on je vlastně mléčák.
Milk chocolate comes from a cycle of violence where little baby boy cows are ripped away.
Já toto musí trolit, já nevěřím tomu, že to myslí vážně.
And while she then focused on other things for an entire year, like how cats should be put down since they aren't vegan, she decided to return with one final cancellation attempt in December of 2023.
Building 100 wells to help people in Africa. Fantastic. The only thing I would say to MrBeast is now what? How are you going to follow up to make sure that these people with their water are going to be able to grow crops? Make sure that you always
emphasize veganism in all of your videos.
Yes, it almost seemed like that vegan teacher finally gave MrBeast some recognition for what he had done. But of course, it had to be followed up with the fact that it wasn't enough. Because
měla beef s Gordonem Ramsay, měla.
Veganism is...
Já se podívám, jestli to najdu. Já to možná odpovídali. Jo, jasně, že jí na to odpovídal.
Eating animals is wrong, Gordon Ramsay. Hurting animals is wrong, Gordon Ramsay. Share this song, and if you call me a donut, that's fine.
Vegan donut.
You're vegan from now on.
No, to zajímavá odpověď.
What's most important. To this day, Katie is one of the many that failed to cancel MrBeast, but it doesn't stop her from spreading her message, as she uploads multiple times a week on her YouTube channel, posts almost daily on Instagram and TikTok, and secretly profits from her controversial fame with a Patreon and Cameo. I wonder if that money goes to any good causes. However, while all of these YouTubers failed to cancel MrBeast, there are some who successfully copied him. So click the video on the screen right now to see what happened to his most infamous copycats.
Zajímavé videjko, dobré, dám like, dobré videjko, bavil jsem se. Hele, jak říkám, v některých těch věcech, třeba u té Rouzany, jak neměla ani to 3. místo nebo něco, tak ze začátku měla docela validní argumenty, bylo to zajímavý, ale potom to už prostě šlo z toho, že chtěla, aby nějaký budoucí videa byla víc spravedlivý, tak to přešlo z toho, že viděl, že se na tom snaží hlavně vyprofitovat, získat nějakou pozornost. To stejný, ty NFTčka, to taky, NFTčka prostě byly psusy, zvláštní, jo, taky validní point v některých věcech. Ale vegan teacher, to je top, to nikdo nepřekoná.